Listen, I know there have been upset people with my previous video where I said that a divine feminine is not amused. That you shouldn't be amused as. Let me explain. Artists are users. Artists are users. And what I mean by this is that artists who are not spiritually developed are users who have not faced their inner darkness, their shadow, who have not done their inner shadow work, have not faced their demons along with their light, have not combined these two aspects, have not worked through this mush-up within, are users. Several different ways of using drugs, alcohol, as the addictions, using other people as the actually one type. The other is leeching off emotionally and using other through emotional spectrum of going up the railway and going down, aka the emotional roller coasters that bring them this creativity and inspiration. The second type. These are approximate types, of course they mash up. Confirmation. So think of this when you are in your divine energy or in your powerful energy. You've worked through yourself, you're an empress. And if an artist calls you a muse, and if you look at the statistics of how many underdeveloped spiritually, not knowing their soul, living soulfully chaotic life, or just dry on basis artists there are plenty relying not on internal substance but on external substances. And if you deal with such an artist as an empress and you submit to them calling you a muse, love bombing you, then they will use you as this said substance. The soul, in its core, his colors, creativity, the chakras working, linked stuff to creativity, sacral chakra, third eye, throat, whatever underdeveloped, link to the core of the soul. When someone hasn't faced their shadow, confirmation again, they will leech off other resources. A true channeler, a true artist, does not use external resources, does not have to leech off others' energies for inspiration, does not have to have primal influences onto others in order to suck their emotionality or energy out, to gain something creative out of it. That is emotional creative leeching. And underdeveloped artists will either consciously, usually it's a mix of subconscious and conscious, because they are both aware and unaware. It's chaotic. They do not have the grasp over it because they have underdeveloped work in their core, in their shadow aspects. They need to do shadow work. An artist, then an underdeveloped one, will leech off of those called substances. And if you are a muse empress, you are a substance. And they will suck you dry at some point, especially with the emotional roller coasters that they bring. Or it can be slow and steady. You might not even notice how you're sucked dry. This usually comes with using you as an object of inspiration. This comes with neglect. It's paired with neglect. You can look up neglect and what that is psychologically. And this is why I'm telling you. As an empress, however upset you are over me saying this, you have to count in. If you're called a muse, don't be amused. If you agreed to humans' greed. And the greed mode happens when? With an underdeveloped shadow core of one's soul. They are underworked. They don't need you, Empress. They need work on themselves. Serious work on themselves. Big emphasis of work on their internal core of who they are in their personality, in their soul, in depth. When they don't have that depth, Empress, they should not have an access to you. You are no muse. Do not be amused. That's all. Thank you for listening.